Today on Adventures and Things, I convince myself that things are gonna be fine.
Should be fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Hi, I'm Michael Wright, a former professional alcoholic. Well, I drank like it was a profession, and after realizing that wasn't a lucrative career, I took up filmmaking and adventuring, and blended the two into the ever-brilliant Adventures and Things as an alternative. So join me on this journey as I rediscover this crazy world through sober eyes. Today we're in Port Renfrew, British Columbia, a hidden gem in the world of travel. While this may not be a household name, it certainly is a tent-hold name. That's because it's home to two incredible hiking trails, the Juan de Fuca Trail and the West Coast Trail. Now, if you don't have 4 to 5 days to spend hiking either one of these trails, you can still have an incredible time here in Canada's tall tree capital, exploring around the surrounding area. And that is exactly what we're going to do today. And we're also going to head down to some beaches, not just tall trees, beaches. A quick tour of the town and we were off to somewhere amazing. So we're out here at Botanical Beach. This is an amazing beach. Ross and I stopped here before we started to head up North Island. I feel like we should have explored around here a little more, but we were kind of in a rush. But now that I'm doing a Port Renfrew video, I'm not in a rush. We have time to explore around this amazing area and provincial park, and we're gonna do that right now. So let's get to it and take a look at this beach. It's absolutely amazing. These trails are part of the Juan de Fuca hiking trail, and at the risk of overloading you with too much information, I decided to take a walk to royalty-free music. Really gotta watch where you're stepping. Apparently smelling nature wakes something up inside of you and makes you feel invigorated. I'm not sure I know the science behind it, but I definitely feel different after doing that. So I absolutely love coming out here and watching the waves, the amazing power as they slam against the shore. But I do have to say, just be a little bit careful when you're out here. Keep an eye on the tide tables. And the best piece of advice I was ever given is never, ever turn your back on the ocean. Ever, under any circumstance. Ever. There could be a rogue wave. And if you're staring off into the woods instead of the ocean, that rogue wave could come up and punch you right in the face or the back of the head because you're not facing the ocean. Huh? I'll teach you lots of things out here. And now for the piece de resistance. That's right, VoiceOver Mike pretends to know French. One of the best features of Botanical Beach is the tide pools. And if you are smarter than on-camera Mike, you can check for low tides and see an abundance of tide pools with all sorts of intertidal organisms. It is such an incredible place that a research station was established here in the early 1900s from the University of Minnesota. That's right, Minnesota. The ocean state. The organisms that live here must adapt to some pretty harsh conditions. These barnacles and mussels close up tightly in low tide and hold in a small amount of water to survive. You can also see purple, red, and orange sea stars. You can also see this one. Look at them go. Sea urchins are another neat thing you can find here. This is called an urchin condo. Urchins use their spiky spines to help dig into the sandstone. And here's a land urchin. These cool things are called enemies. Hey, look, a nudibranch, a Monterey lemon dorid, in fact. It's saltier than it is lemony. And this is an orange peel Dorade. And this is a ginger dingus. So that's pretty much it for Botanical Beach. I absolutely love this place. I know it's not one of your sandy beach all-inclusive resorts. This is more for people who like things like science and your liver. I could spend hours upon hours at this place looking at tide pools, looking in tide pools, thinking of tide pools, and thinking about children who used to eat Tide Pods, and thinking maybe if their parents took them to more tide pools, they'd be less likely to eat Tide Pods. But I don't have that problem because I don't have children, so let's get on to the next adventure because I have that kind of freedom. After a grueling 5 minutes and 45 seconds, I decided to get some lunch. After spending so much time by the sea, I decided to get chicken. After all, it is the fish of the land. And then I used my charm on the locals to find some cool places. Okay, enough of the crack and wise. That sandwich was actually quite amazing, and the staff in there was incredible. And what a cool restaurant. It's like a chip truck that they've built a restaurant around. It was really cool anyways, and as I said, the staff was amazing. They did give me a couple suggestions of places to go, and we are gonna go there right now. At Lizard Lake. This is a lake that's just a few kilometers outside of Port Renfrew, but one of the locals said that it's a really nice hike to just walk around the loop trail around the lake. So let's go check it out and see what it's like. The hike started off lovely and easy, and then all of a sudden it wasn't. I'm not sure if I'm even on a trail. I'm not sure where this is. I just kind of started walking what looked like it was a trail, and then it kind of now doesn't look like a trail. But I talked to a fella here, and he said, yeah, that there's a trail. It's kind of hard and maybe not the easiest to see, but you'll eventually find a trail and be able to go. So let's move on. I mean, it's a small lake, so if anything, I'll just stand at the edge of it and yell and cry, and people will probably come and rescue me because the people of Port Renfrew are pretty awesome. Okay, I might have been a little bit dramatic about that whole situation. The trail wasn't as bad as I thought it was. There was a little part where I kind of lost the trail, but then after that, there's like spray paint markings on the trees. But if you're not good at following those, this might not be a good trail for you. And I'm not joking, because some people are just like head down and just trying to keep on the trail, and you'll miss the markings. And there are spots out there where it looks like a trail and it goes somewhere else, and if it wasn't for those markings, I might have actually done that. So just keep that in mind if you're coming out to do Lizard Lake. But it was a lot of fun. It's awesome. It's a beautiful lake. I guess this is the swimming lake, which I'm not going to do because I'm not really prepared for it. But we're going to go somewhere else where another local told me to go, and I think it's going to be cool. It sounded really cool, so let's just go do that now while I stare awkwardly at you. I was told by some locals that if I just go up this road that there's some cool stuff up here. And the girl said, she said that she takes her Dodge Ram up here. Or not Ram, but like her Dodge Caravan. She said she takes her Dodge Caravan up here, but oh man, this does not look nice. This is nasty.
It's fine. Ow! Maybe I should put my window up. It's so hot in here. Yeah! It's the sport edition. That's why that broke. Ah, yes, here we go. Some civilization. We're here on top of Browns Mountain, and this was suggested to me to come up to by the locals in that restaurant that had amazing food and great service. They said that this used to be a festival grounds out here, and if you see in behind me here, that looks like where the DJ would be, hitting spacebar and playing other people's music and getting people to throw their hands up and whatnot. But this looks really awesome up here. This is incredible. I think I hear some wild animals over there, but I'm having a bit of a sensory overload, so we're gonna just tour around and I'm gonna make the best of this up here.
There is always an eerie feeling when exploring places that have been abandoned. Although it's broad daylight, it still feels a little bit creepy to me, but I'm sure there's nothing to worry about. It's still wilderness mostly, and you're always welcome in the wilderness. Well, that's promising. This area was home to the Tall Tree Festival, a music festival that ended in 2018. But I believe the organizers now do the Lake Town Shakedown. A fun fact about the Tall Tree Festival is part of the proceeds went to the Ancient Forest Alliance, a not-for-profit group that is dedicated to protecting BC's old-growth forests. So you just know the organizers cared about the environment.
Oh, do they have showers out here? A mop, that's pretty neat. Oh man. Discovery Street. They're the ones who did this. I don't want to touch things. Ew, don't touch me. Oh my god, you'd come in here and drop a big deuce? They had showers. That's crazy town. I just put a bunch of stuff in there. Oh, neat.
That is it for the festival. Let's go visit someone who's clearly stayed at the festival for far too long. We are here at Big Lonely Doug. This 230-foot tall tree is estimated to be anywhere from 750 to 1,200 years old. They say estimated because trees generally don't celebrate birthdays. Not after the big birthday cake fire anyways. You see, Big Lonely Doug wasn't always lonely. He had a friend, Big Friendly Steve, who decided that he wanted to throw Doug a birthday party. So he bought him a cake and came out with candles, but that was a particularly dry summer that summer, and well, you can just imagine the tragedy that happened after that. And that's what happened here. Most people think this is overlogging clear cut, but it was just a birthday party gone wrong. Let's go down and take a look at Big Lonely Doug and see how tall he actually is, because I feel this perspective doesn't really give it justice. So this is Big Lonely Doug up close and personal, and to put things in perspective, I'm a human. So I want to tell you the story of how Big Lonely Doug came to be. I want to do it on camera so it gives voiceover Mike a bit of a break. So the story of Big Lonely Doug starts as Great work on camera, Mike. So the story of Big Lonely Doug is quite a long one, but for the viewer's sake, I have significantly shortened it. In the winter of 2011, Dennis Cronin, a forest engineer, stepped into Cut Block 7190 to map out trees to be felled. He used neon orange ribbon to mark the trees to be cut, and as Dennis was making his way through the woods marking trees and boundary lines, he came across a tree. This tree was the biggest tree he ever saw. Dennis was amazed by the size of this tree and decided to pull out his green tape and wrote on the tape, "Do not cut down." Little did Dennis know at the time, it would be Canada's second largest tree. And now back to on-camera Mike for something brilliant, I'm sure.
And that's basically the story of Big Lonely Doug. Thank you.
And there is no segue into the next scene, as is the Adventures in Things tradition.
So we're here at Eden Falls. This is Eden Grove over here. This is a really cool waterfall. If you just walk up the road from Big Lonely Doug, you'll spot it here. You kind of can hear it from down there. It's really cool. There's these infinity pools that go down to another fall there. I'm gonna try to make it down there somewhat safely so I can continue making these videos. And well, let's go check it out now. This is a cool find. This is absolutely amazing. I'm glad I walked just down the road a bit from Eden Waterfall. I was just kind of curious to see if there was anything down here, and it turns out that there is. There's this incredibly amazing trail that so far has this like wood path. I had no idea it was here. I didn't know this was a trail here. I don't know where it goes. I don't know anything about it. I'm just gonna come out here. I'm gonna walk for about an hour and see if there's anything. I mean, this is amazing, but I'm gonna see if there's anything amazinger out here, and we'll go from there. And I might actually have to come back here another time. I think I might have the rapture. Ross might have been right. Wowzers, that's a big tree. This is a massive tree, and it's not even as big as Big Lonely Doug. That's the crazy thing, is Big Lonely Doug is bigger than this tree. So I walked down that path. I had no idea where it was going to lead me to. I had no idea what I was in for walking down that path. Apparently it's a big massive tree out in the middle of nowhere. Here's a picture of where I'm at on Google Maps. I'm literally, I don't know. I know nothing about this tree. I just know that there's a path that takes you to this tree, so you can come down here and admire it, but it's absolutely amazing. The only thing you can hear out here is a loudmouth ginger, and you can kind of hear Gordon River over there, but other than that, it's beautiful and peaceful. I could probably end the video right here. I'm not. We're gonna go to a beach, but I could end it wherever I want. I'm in charge.
So we're down here at Patchy Beach, which I truly believe is one of the more underrated beaches on Vancouver Island. It's absolutely amazing. It stretches from one end all the way down to the other. There's barely anybody here. You get nice waves coming in through the Port of San Juan. It's incredible. You get a beautiful mountainscape in the back and all that jazz. But anyways, this has been our journey around Port Renfrew. I hope you enjoyed it. And you know, if you edit your day down like I edited this video down, you too could get this done in one day. But you probably can't do that. So on that huge letdown, thank you so much for watching, and tune in next time for who knows where we're gonna be. Maybe in a studio, maybe in the nation's capital, that nation being Canada, Ottawa. Hey, a beach and some waves. Beach waves.